You mentioned about transferring or connecting the brain to the heart. So how, I mean, this is, perhaps it's not as easy as it sounds, because sometimes we get so wrapped up in our brain that we forget about the heart. So how to connect the brain and the heart so that the things that we do have the right intention with the results that we actually want and need.
Now, talking about brain and heart and how we sort of bring it together. Generally speaking, when we're talking about brain, we talk about intellect, intelligence. Intelligence is like a tool that we can use for positive purposes and negative. And when we misuse our intelligence, sort of perverted intelligence, then obviously it can have destructive consequences, like nuclear bombs created, made with whatever intelligence you would say. And so therefore that having intelligence alone is not enough. So given that, I personally feel that the core value, the core principle that we need to develop individually is unquestionable, genuine good-heartedness. Genuine good-heartedness from the very depth of our mind, not appearance. We just can't simply do without that value. We have a way of saying this, in Tibetan, given sort of examples of the past. This motivation or this value or principle of good-heartedness, loving-kindness should be like the king, makes the command. And the intelligence should be like the ministers that put this command into action. And so in this way, sort of command and control from that point of view. And so fundamentally that we must have this value or the principle that we never move outside of the perimeter of good-heartedness, that our actions come only from within the perimeter of good-heartedness.
I'm interested to see for myself how the Buddhist lamas practice their simple life full of compassion and mindfulness. For this, I visit Palpung Sherabling Monastery, which is about 2 hours' drive north of Dharamsala, through some of the most beautiful sceneries in northern India.
Khenpo, this is beautiful. Thank you for bringing me here. Tell me a little bit more about this place.
Oh, yeah, this place name is Gopalpur. This place is more famous also. Many tourists come here and they like it of the see the mountain, rivers.
I know, this is a great spot for taking photos.
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely here, but we have to move on, Khenpo.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah,
let's go.
Here at Palpung Sherabling Monastery, the students are taught rituals, art, retreat practices and scholarly text, which are within the 4 aspects of what the monastery is offering: spirituality, education, health and culture. Currently there are about 750 monks residing here, with 250 of them enrolled in the monastic university curriculum. At 3,950 meters above sea level, the main monastery of Palpung is an extraordinary structure, with the main hall as tall as 40 meters. It has been said that this is the 2nd largest standing traditional Tibetan building in the world.
Khenpo,
Yes.
this is a classroom.
Yeah, this is classroom. have the many class. This is one of campus classroom, Karma Kagyu classroom. Now inside they have the teaching.
Teaching? Okay.
Teaching, yeah.
Should we go in and see what he's teaching?
So, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
But these values need to be spread, to be taught. And yet, the dominant values that we see in today's world actually generate values that are based on maybe competition. You know, we have winners are good, losers are not good, for example. So where do you think we can find, even in some religions perhaps, they don't give us the values of tolerance and harmony and love?
Mm-hmm.
Can it come from the heart?
Okay.
Now, more than ever, we should wake up to this reality of interdependence. Because of everything that is happening around us, becoming closer and so forth, as we talked about, we should realize how closely connected we are all, how interdependently we have to exist and live, to the extent that we should think of ourselves not in a fashionable way, but in a realistic way, a sense of global, citizenship. That is like the world is your home, the world is your family, and so that you should have a sense of responsibility for your home, for the sort of safekeeping of your home. Along that line, different religious traditions should not act like they're there to create boundaries among each other. They should be there to dismantle boundaries. So in this way, religious leaders, important figures of the world should maybe move towards that. But the main responsibility for this to become a practical reality lies upon each and every individual. We talk about rights. This is your right. This is the right you should claim. This is the right that one should recognize. You should learn more about this right of yours and in this responsibility.